Hi everyone! Welcome to another video. Today, we're gonna give a makeover to this sign that I got at a thrift store. It is in really good conditions, but the color is very boring, so let's get started. I tried to open it with the scissors like the civilized person that I am, but that didn't work, and trying to break it wasn't gonna be a good idea either. So I had to look for a screwdriver. That didn't work, so I had to look for another screwdriver, but this one was a baby screwdriver, super cute. I'm giving it a little wipe to have a clean surface, and I'm not sure how necessary this is, but I'm gonna apply a coat of gesso. Or at least, that's what I thought, that I was gonna be applying one coat of gesso. Then, after the first coat, I realized that I was gonna need a second and a third coat. I underestimated how many were gonna be necessary. I also did a few coats on the letters, but didn't show you because they're already white, so you wouldn't have noticed the difference, but I did it in case you're wondering. I added a coat of gesso on the edges as well, but it was kinda complicated to record that, so I didn't. I'm sorry, I couldn't show you this crucial step with such an interesting technique, but I'll leave it to your imagination. Now that the surface is ready, it is time to paint, and I'll start with the letters since I know it's gonna be a mess and I think it's gonna be easier to paint the background with the letters already done than to paint the letters when the background is already done. As you can see, I'm painting the letters purple. This is a color that I made. I took a pastel purple and mixed it with some white to make it even lighter, and like I told you before, it was indeed a mess, so I think I made a good decision painting the letters first. I'm doing a gradient, so I'll paint the lower half of the letters with a darker purple, which isn't as dark as I wanted, but I continued with a second coat, hoping it was gonna get darker, which it did, but still was not dark enough, so I painted over it with an even darker purple and used the previous color that I had to blend it. And let me tell you, it was difficult. The paint was drying so fast, like I would dip the brush in the paint and by the time it was touching the surface, it was already dry. I'm serious. 2 strokes and that was it. It was dry. So I had to use 3 brushes at the same time to try to blend it. Maybe it looks easy, but it wasn't. Then I painted the remaining edges and started to work on the background that, as you can see, it's gonna be yellow, and I'm painting around the letters first with a tiny brush because after all of that work, I am not trying to ruin it. Now that the edges around the letters are done, I can move on and use a bigger brush to finish the rest. You may be asking yourself why I didn't paint the middle, and that's a really good question. If you didn't ask yourself that, I'm gonna tell you anyways. So, the reason is that I'm painting the middle with a different color, and right now there's too much yellow for my eyes. I'm sorry, but the yellow background has to go. It isn't the most beautiful, but that's what I have. Now, back to the sign. I like the current color palette. I think it looks good, but at the same time, it is a little bit simple. That's why I decided to paint it a different color and, I don't know, make it more interesting. I had 3 colors in mind that I wanted to try. It was blue, pink, and teal. I chose the teal because I think it's gonna stand out more, which is what I was looking for, a vibrant color to really call the attention. Finally, I'm gonna apply a coat of matte polish, and I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this, but I'm gonna sign it. Tragedy happened. While I was drying it, some bubbles started to come up. I think it was because I was using the dryer with hot air. Then I tried to scrape them off, and for some reason, using sandpaper for this task seemed like a very good idea. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. One thing led to another, and that's how I ended up in this situation. It's alright, don't panic, I painted everything again. Now let's just act like this never happened. And this is the final result. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye!